Hi there folks, my name's NovaWrap and welcome to the NovaWrap, your one-stop location for your simulation release news and goings on from the week that was. So here we are with another action-packed episode on Sunday the 3rd of June 2018, and we are going to get started with the release that we no longer have to say 2 more weeks for, which of course is the A-18C Hornet module for DCS World. So the long-awaited arrival of a Blue Force carrier-capable aircraft. Well, I suppose the Harrier's already there, so you've already got a carrier-capable aircraft, but a conventional carrier operations aircraft has now arrived in the form of the F-18. So the F-18 has been one of those long-requested modules and has been brought to us now in DCS World in the usual painstaking, amazing attention to detail that, of course, can pretty much only be found in DCS modules at the moment. Mind you, having said that, having used the VRS's F-18 module for the ESP platforms, I must admit that these guys have got a pretty amazing. So there is a pretty a fair benchmark already out there at the moment, but either way, this is brought to us, as I said, coming into the DCS world, of course, with the release of the Persian Gulf map. Now, not only does it include the F-18C, which features the professional flight model, authentic flight control systems as verified by actual pilots of the aircraft. It includes a very highly realistic model of the external aircraft, the internal modeling, as well as the systems management as well. As Eagle Dynamics put it down to. And it's the most realistic model imaginable down to every bolt and flake of paint, which is an interesting way of putting it, but there you go. Includes a detailed simulation of the Hornet's many subsystems, including engines, fuel, electrical, weapons, hydraulics, emergency systems, as well as, although it does have but it does still compatible with the cheat auto start feature if you're so desired. You want to go through a full checklist. It does include full modeling of the GPS navigation systems as well inertial navigation systems as well. A full complement of air-to-air and air-to-ground weapons have been included, including ones unique to the Hornet, at least so far as the DCS world goes. Again, as I said, a very highly advanced research and advanced modeling of the aircraft systems, as well as an authentic sound set provided from Boeing as well. So it is so essentially does hint. It doesn't officially say it's an officially licensed product, but it does hint that it has had at least a tacit support from the manufacturer. And it is, of course, it does include new effects for the DCS environment, including the leading edge vapor, which is a very commonly photographed element of the Hornet, with the leading edge extension vapor, overwing vapor, and as well as rain on canopy. And apparently, the guys over at ED had to have highlighted the fact that you get new explosions as well. I've seen a couple of the screenshots that are kicking around as well already, and it seems that many would-be Hornet drivers have discovered different ways of blowing stuff up, mostly themselves. But it also includes a variety of liveries, authentic liveries for the US Navy and US Marine Corps for the aircraft as well. Interesting enough, it does list a series of other liveries included as well, including the Royal Canadian Air Force, Spanish Air Force, Swiss Air Force, Finland, and Australia. Now, off the top of my head, I can't speak for Spain, Switzerland, or Finland, but Australia doesn't fly the Charlie. Just FYI, it's a rendition because Australia flies the Alpha and Bravo and the Foxtrot and the Golf. It does not fly the Charlie. It's pretty much the only one we don't fly. But yeah, it's just a side note for those people who insist that everything is accurate. But anyway, I'm just going to step sideways on that one. So for those who have pre-ordered it, it's obviously already available now for you. If you have not pre-ordered but do want to grab your hands on it, it is available for $80 from the DCS World's online store, or if you have the Steam edition of DCS, I believe this is the first time ever it had a simultaneous release on both the DCS actual e-store as well as on the Steam platform, which is, I believe, the first time they've ever actually done this, which is really exciting and really cool to see. Just to bear in mind though, it is compatible only with DCS Open Beta version 2.5.2. So if you are just using the standard non-beta version, it is not there. It is only for 2.5.2. So if you only want to use the stable version, you will not be able to use the Hornet. Speaking of which, by the way, just a reminder as well, like all other DCS modules, when they are first launched, they are launched officially into early access. They're not a finalized products. Some of the things that I'm getting feedback from is the fact that some of the texturing is not finished yet. There's also not a full complement of the promised weapon systems are not included yet. Buddy lasing is also not a feature that has been implemented yet, as well as a few other features. So just bear that in mind, that as I said, you are still buying into an early access product. You are not buying into a complete product as yet. But either way, it's still coming out as a pretty amazing looking product. So look out over at my friend and colleague Belgio's channel. He will be releasing his first impressions in VR very, very soon, so keep an eye out for that. But as I said, if you want to pick this one up, it's coming in at $80 available now from digitalcombatsimulator.com or from Steam, available now. Alright, moving out of the DCS world and moving into the world of X-Plane this week. So X-Plane, this week we saw the release of the guys over at UK 2000 scenery. They've added they've ported over another one of their sceneries over into the world of X-Plane 11. So they've moved across their Edinburgh Xtreme airport. So Edinburgh is the biggest airport in Scotland. And services Scotland's capital with a large range of domestic and international flights, as well as being a cargo and GA hub as well. So it's a very large, very busy airport, and is one of the newer releases from the guys at UK 2000. For those who are ESP platform users, it is fully available across FS9, FSX, and P3D in all its various forms. That is available, but as I said, this is the latest release has been come across to X-Plane. Now, like we see across for the X-Plane releases from the UK 2000 guys, it does do a very beautiful, highly detailed rendition of all the buildings at the airport, full set of highly detailed textures for the ground and for the taxiways. High-res photoreal imaging has been used for the airport and the surrounding area. Customized night effects, airport sort of vehicles, customized signage for the area, and various special effects. However, again, as we see in all the other X-Plane releases from these guys, we do not see the customized 3D approach lights, we do not see the animated AI traffic, and we do not see the static aircraft that populate the airfield, which is a bit of a shame, and it leaves the airport a little bit bare bones and a little bit dead. So I really hope that one day soon these guys, the guys over at UK 2000, will actually sort of change that and will update with a library that they'll ship with their stuff, because as I said, their airports are really, really good, especially in the ESP platforms, but it just seems that they always just seem to just miss out on some of the things that makes the airports alive in X-Plane. So yeah, just a thing. As I said, it's probably, I don't know how important it is to other people, but as I said, for me, it's just something that it's about making an airport alive, and that's something that I think is a bit missing here. So yeah, it's something we've seen before, and we'll probably continue to see at least for a little while for UK 2000. But guys, if you are watching, seriously consider just get an object library or license one from someone, just so you can put that in there, because the airport's a bit dead. Just saying. Anyway, if you are wanting to pick this one up though for your X-Plane experience though, so otherwise the airport is great. So this is coming in at £17 or $23 available now from UK 2000's website. Available now. Alright, changing simulator platforms once again, and we're moving over into the ESP platforms, and we saw a couple of releases this week. So in the scenery release world, we saw the guys over at FSDG come out with their second of their promised set of their Pilots of the Caribbean set, which is the second scenery release. So this is for the island of St. Lucia. So St. Lucia is a beautiful island that offers steep cliffs, beautiful bays, and the smell of of pirate gunpowder. Smell-o-vision not guaranteed in your sim. But yes, it does offer complete coverage of the island of St. Lucia, full aerial imagery including day and night imagery and night effects, full high detailed rendition of the two main airports that service the islands, including George F. L. Charles Airport and Huanora International Airport. So Tango Lima Papa Charlie and Tango Lima Papa Lima. There is an additional GA strip has been included as well. So I said you get a lot of content here, customized mesh, customized photoreal scenery, a combination of photoreal scenery and autogen, as well as updates of lighting technology and volumetric lighting and realistic shadow effects, fully compatible with prepared V4's dynamic lighting as well. So pretty cool, pretty awesome setup available for, as I said, all of the ESP platforms. So available, it will support FSX, FSX Steam Edition, and prepared version 3 and 4. Now, as I said before, this is a part of their second of their 3 releases that they're offering of the Pirates of the Caribbean series. So this one's coming in to buy by itself at €16 or about $18 to purchase this one from FSDG. Now, as I said, we previously announced talked about their previous release for this one, which is for the island of St. Vincent. As I said, this forms with the release of St. Lucia, it makes the second of the 2 sceneries. Now, there is a third part of the Pirates of the Caribbean pack coming, which is an adventures and a mission pack. No detail on exactly how many missions will be included. There'll be 4 missions covering the area and of both of the islands involved in this one, as well as professional dialogues and additional fictional scenery included, with a couple of additional custom models and AI traffic. So you can basically pick up the scenery individually, or eventually the Pirates of the Caribbean mission pack individually as well, or you'll be able to pick it up as part of a bundle pack. Now, the bundle pack comes in at €33, so around about what's that? So that's around about 30 odd, 35, I think about $38. Essentially, basically, you're sort of getting, you're buying the scenery, you get the mission pack free. Essentially, this is kind of how it works. So yeah, it's a pretty interesting, pretty cool, pretty interesting deal, and probably one that I'm getting more intrigued by missions and sort of tasks and stuff like that, things to do. So yeah, it might be one if you're thinking of picking up both of these islands, it might be something to consider. Pick up this one and get the mission pack and the extra scenery as well, so something to consider. But yes, if I want to pick this one up, pick up St. Lucia right now. You can pick it up, as I said, now available now on FSDG Online, available now. In the other ESP platform release, the guys over at Alabao have brought out another beautiful looking aircraft, an HD aircraft, in the form of the Cessna 421C Golden Eagle. So the Cessna 421 was a twin piston engine commuter aircraft with sort of 6 to 8 seats. Sort of launched in the 1960s and 70s, will go on soldier on in production well into the 1980s before being replaced by the I think it was replaced by the 425, I believe, in its sort of production of the turbos. The pistons gave way to turboprops in this sort of market. But yeah, this is an aircraft that was over 1,900 of them produced, seen on many airstrips globally, and seen as a very reliable, and when it was initially released, and even towards the end of its life, was seen as a very affordable way of accessing sort of a light commuter and light GA operations. Now, this one is fully compatible with the full ESP gambit of platforms, including FSX Prepared 2, 3, and 4, and FSX Steam Edition. As usual, as we see from Alabao and their sister company Carinado, we know that very highly detailed flight dynamics have been done. Full support of cold and dark start options, full update of dynamic lighting for prepared V4, but otherwise a full material reflection and high detailed liveries have been provided for us. Full gauge reflections, as well as a full custom sound set modelled off the real aircraft. Full support as well with the Flight 1 GTN 750 and Reality XP GNS 530 integrations are available as well for those who do use those products. As always, includes the 5 high definition liveries plus a 1 blank texture and all the operating procedures that you would become accustomed to. So Alabao products, again, like the Carinado cousins, always delivering very sort of reasonably priced and reasonably very high to reasonable quality. And I think this one is looking like it is no exception. The screenshots look absolutely outstanding. They really do. So if you are wanting to pick this one up, this one is available for $35 US. Available now from the Alabeo's website or from your favorite flight sim retailer. Available now. Alrighty, moving out of the flight simulation world and moving into the world of the permanent way with a few releases for Train Simulator this week. So we saw the release of a few locomotives and rolling stock this week. So the first one we saw was the release of the Union Pacific U-50 locomotive. So this is apparently one of the biggest, largest, and most distinctive diesel locomotives ever to serve on American railroads. So apparently it is a Leviathan of an 8-axle, 5,000 horsepower, 500,000 pound locomotive, which is just... It's just those numbers are just mind-boggling. They really kind of are, aren't they? But yeah, there were 23 of them in operation with Union Pacific at the height of their operations, being powered by a 4,500 horsepower gas turbine locomotive. So this is just 5,000 horsepower gas turbine diesel locomotive. So this is an incredibly detailed rendition of this engine, as this does form part of the Train Simulator Pro series. So of that, you get a full sort of dark, sort of like I'm about to say first flight of the day, but is it first excursion of the day, first trip of the day? I'm not sure. But yes, as I said, highly authentic and detailed control cabin, controls, and operating features. It also included with the actual train itself, you also included with Union Pacific's stock car, a refrigerator car, a flat car, and a caboose unit with marker lights and a full interior model as well. Alongside this, the train itself, you also get 4 career scenarios. Now, again, something that we see, we often see from the guys over at Train Simulator is we do see a bit of a cross-sell happening on here. So we see the 4 career scenarios that are included are for use for the Sherman Hill route. So if you do, you can still use the train itself. The train is fully quick drive compatible, with all with Steam Workshop scenarios, but to be able to use the career scenarios that come with it, you are looking at needing to read the Sherman Hill route. So just bear that in mind. Now this one comes in at a pretty standard price, so coming in at $20 US or your original equivalent, available now on Steam. And moving on to the next release from the Train Simulator world, we saw the release of the HXD3D electric locomotive. So this is a locomotive for China Railways. So it's a 6-axle electric locomotive produced by Dalen Locomotive and Rolling Stock Company, and is a very interesting rendition of it that was very high powered with over 7,200 kilowatts and with a design speed of up to 200 kilometers an hour, but it's normal operating. Its normal operating capacity is restricted to around about 160. Now this is given to us with 2 different liveries, a full customized and authentic sound set, high definition model and texture services as textures have been provided, along with a passenger coach, an RW25 passenger coach with full detailed interiors and exteriors as well. You do get some updated information, including okay, so this kind of perplexed me, and I did get a chuckle out of it. It was the fact that the interior is modeled in a very high detail, including apparently the fridge in the cab of the locomotive has the fridge door opens and closes. Why you need that, I don't know, but it is included. It does include as well a full detail, as I said, full highly detailed modeling of all the systems of the train, as well as a full cold and dark startup procedure, including the time it takes for the computer system to boot as well, which is something that is not modeled very often, even in aircraft in flight simulation. Includes also a pantograph spark effect, the driver safety device and speed monitoring, cruise control, and all the other various things that we expect to see from a very high quality release. Again, and also as usual, fully compatible with quick drive systems and with the Steam Workshop available. As I said, this one's coming in fairly affordable too. It's coming in at only $9 US, and from the look of things, still looking pretty good. So it could be interesting taking this across onto various different trains around the world. So this comes to us from the developer of Just Trains. So this one's been available actually, I think, at the Just Trains. You can pick this one up either direct on Steam for $9 US, or you can pick it up from the Just Trains website, available now. And rounding out the releases from the train simulator world, we saw a livery update for the CSX SD50. So, a General Motors sort of train that's been around for a while for train simulator. This is a livery pack which gives the CSX livery for the engine, as well as updating some. We're giving some additional features as well. So you get two of the CSX. Sorry, you don't update any features. You get two of the CSX liveries, along with the customized number board lights as well, so we actually sort of know, well, you can actually customize those. So no real feature updates to the content, just simply updates all the liveries for it, which I must admit, for a livery pack of 2 trains, it seems to be a little high, a little excessively priced, not going to lie. We're talking about $5. So it's $2.50 a livery. I'm kind of used to seeing livery packs for about $2. So I think it's possibly a little excessive in its pricing for 2 liveries of a train. So considering that there's no real other there's no other updates for this. It's not an update to the content. It's just simply a straight up livery change. So I feel that that's a bit excessive for that. So anyway, but yes, if you did want to update to the CSX livery though for your SD50 for Train Simulator, you can pick this one up, available now on Steam. Alright, moving away from the permanent way and moving sort of back into the aviation world for a moment. And I'll be honest, I almost didn't cover this. Okay, so this is Airport Simulator 2019. It comes from a very checkered history of airport simulators. There's Airport Simulator 2014, Airport Simulator 2015, Airport Simulator 2012, I think. Each one varying various degrees of horrible. Now, this one apparently comes to us from, it looks the same, it smells the same, looks almost identical, does the same things, where apparently you take on the ownership of an airport, and you have to maintain operations and direct your vehicles and your staff and train your staff and all sorts of, what do you call it? This comes to us from a new developer, which has not previously done the previous incarnations of Airport Simulator. However, yeah, when something looks like a duck and quacks like a duck and smells like a duck, generally going to be a duck. And quite honestly, this looks like every other previous airport simulator, smells like every other airport simulator, and sounds like every other airport simulator, and yeah. The last ones have all been awful. This one honestly doesn't look any different. Please, if somebody does pick this up and wants to dissuade me of this, please point me to a video. But every video I've seen so far, and everything else I've seen, is that it is buggy, and it's just doesn't do what it says on the tin. So anyway, if you are wanting to risk your money and look for this one, you are looking at $20 available now on Steam. And with that interesting little tidbit, that does round out the NovaWrap for this week. Thank you very much for joining me. Don't forget, as always, to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying these videos and want to see more. And of course, as always, you can catch up with me and all the things I'm up to between videos by finding me on Facebook and on Twitter. Just search NovaWing24. Alright folks, thanks very much for watching. Take care, safe skies to all, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.